Okay. Cool. Here we go. Sweet. All right. Happy Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. Um, what's going on? I am Gabriel Rathwaite, and I am writing some books. Writing a book, anyway. Let me turn this down a little bit. I really like this mix by Normandy Beach Party. Now we're cooking. Thank you for letting me use your audio, or at least if you don't know about it, thanks for letting me use your audio. Okay, so what's up? What's up? Today I am working on my island, book one, Homestead Another World, chapter one, Homestead Depot. I finished yesterday. It's about 3,000 words, just a little bit over. If you're watching this, this is a little too loud, huh? There we go. If you're watching yesterday, I just about finished up. I finished the last few paragraphs off stream. And then I did a little bit of speech to text recording yesterday, added a few thousand words to the main manuscript, and decided that the original chapter 2 is not where it needs to be. So I'm going to insert what I did this morning. I got up around 4 and did some speech to text this morning, and it's a scene where, well, I'll explain it here. It's a scene where, blah, blah, blah. Where did I write that? Anyway, it's a scene where the main character, has like a nightmare where he goes in the body of his father. So that's the what's going to go in the next chapter, chapter 2 here. So what I'll do is the usual stuff, promote my books, talk about who I am, go over sales, then upload the new book. Let's do that real quick. The new audio here. So this is input. Yep. Thank you, Seth Ring. You are the shiznit. So this should take 10-ish minutes. Come out over here. We'll upload that to the main manuscript. Go from there. Let me do this. Link this in the chat. Let's see. If you've watched the stream before, I am a author who is streaming. Oh, that's not right. And not a streamer who is an author. So I do this to hold myself accountable for my writing. So this gives me the ability to do my social media each day, hold myself accountable, and clip farm. And I record these streams and I toss them into Opus. If you're not sure what that is, that's a AI clipping program. It's my cat here. Hey, Wesley, come say hi. He's a big chonkers. This is Wesley. He's the best cat in the world. But take that, pop it into Opus, and cut a bunch of clips, and you'll see those shorts on YouTube. And the whole idea is to circumvent the traditional marketing route that you see. If everybody is like a book person, most books you'll see like advertising like TikTok or on Instagram or any of those things is like book talk or bookstagram, and it's always like people like, look at my book, here's me, what do you think, do you like this thing, and I'm not doing that. I'd much rather just go all in and make a fool of myself on video like this, and then it's here and people can see me and they can do whatever, than having to do those like little things. And I don't know, it seems more amenable to my style of just everything. So anyway, yeah, so the books are linked. All the books, let's see, the first book that I did on stream was Mercenary Reincarnated as a Chef, book 3. And this is book 1. It comes out April 28th. This is the first book series I'm doing for an actual publisher. If anybody's familiar with Athon Books, that's this here. They are currently I would say the #1 digital publisher in the world. The world. And you'll see most #1. Anybody hear that? I think that's the AC. Sure is. Okay, I'm gonna turn that off. You'll see most books are on the top 100 of Amazon are for romance for females. Like, it's just what it is. There's a few men's books in between. Like James Patterson, the Jailhouse Lawyer, Dungeon Crawler Carl, yeah. Frida McFadden, she's like the #1 author on Amazon. She kills it. She's probably just killing it. But if you do see Andy Ware, one of the genres that I write in, which is like LITRPG, science fiction, fantasy. Dungeon Crawler Carl again. Dungeon Crawler Carl. If anybody knows, what's the show? Walking Dead. Here, Game Lit and LITRPG fiction. So see, Dungeon Crawler Carl is on there. But a lot of these books, you'll see the Athon tag. Zogarth's Athon tag, J.F. Brink Athon tag, Actus Athon tag, Actus again, Spellweaver Athon tag, Zogarth, Sunrise CV, Seth Ring, Robert Blaze. So Athon is probably the #1 digital publisher, and not to like glaze the dudes, but Stephen Rhett, the owners, they're just solid guys, just real solid guys. Dom and I, he's my podcast partner. That sounds pretty gay. My podcast partner, Dom, he is a author out in England. He lives in England. We'll do a podcast later today, probably around 12 o'clock. But we met in Las Vegas and at this conference called 20 Books 50K. And I think I've told this story before. But we were at this conference and we were both just like, fucking, like, this sucks. Like, we got there. I was living in Germany at the time, and he was living in London. And he flew all the way from London to Las Vegas, and I flew all the way from Germany to Las Vegas to go to this book conference. Because I was at just the point in my writing where, like, as with most professions, there's like a curve that's like this, and then you hit it's like a slow arcing curve upward, but like a warped wall. If you ever seen like Ninja Warrior or something, it's a slow arcing curve until you get to like a certain point, and then it gets a lot harder. It shoots up higher and then starts to curve backwards. And that's kind of like what happens in the writing game with plateauing. Like everybody thinks that there's just write a book, get famous, which can happen, can happen to have a real good book. Then you got to keep writing more and more, and a lot of authors fall out. But the only thing you can really do is keep writing books, and eventually one pops, you keep writing, they keep popping. That's the only thing you can do, because eventually like everybody falls off. But the point was, when we went out to Las Vegas, both Dom and I were looking to like, hey, we're at this point where the wall's starting to turn backwards, getting really hard. Why am I not reaching the next point? Like, we thought there maybe was some marketing tool or some like, this is me. And we talked about it. He had similar thoughts, but we both, what today streaming? I don't know, man. I am streaming books. I'm writing a book. I'm just telling a story before I start. But like, I was looking for I guess like everybody, a cheat, a secret to like push my book sales up to the next level. And there was none. Like, I got there, I went to all these different different pitches and marketing strategies and, hey, I can help you sell your book, blah, 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 blah. But the key that like the common denominator for all of them was they were all trying to sell you somehow to get your books famous. And I was like, this is bullshit. I don't need to pay somebody to like market my books or pay somebody to teach me how to sell my books, because they wanted like $500,000 to take classes so you can learn how to market your books. Well, I just don't believe that. Like, I believe that anybody's selling, whatever your intentions are, if you are selling something on how to do something, you're probably not that good at doing something. Now, I don't ever sell how to write or give it. I just say, hey, this is what I do, and if you want to do it, go ahead. But every time I found somebody who's selling how to do something, they just can't do it. And it's just my experience, you know, and everybody teaches own. But if you're going to pay somebody $4 or $5 grand, $6 grand to teach you how to do something that they themselves aren't doing, I don't know. Anyway, that's that. So I was like, I'm over this conference. I'm getting out of here. And then I met Dom, and we were talking, and he felt the same way. And so I decided I was going to leave early, and just went to this last podcast film they were having for one of the days. And after that, I was like, hey, I'm going to get the hell out of here. And Dom's like, yeah, I want to go see this too. It just so happened that the podcast was Larry Correa, I forgot the other guy's name, like two really famous like sci-fi military writers, and Steve from Athon Books. And the podcast was fun. I was listening to them talk. I'm a really big fan of, and David Weber. Big fan of David Weber and Larry Correa. And they were having they had a great podcast, good conversation, enjoyed that. But Steve was the one that really, like, you know, solidified it for me, because he went out there, he's like, look, everybody's going to tell you all this shit about how to make money selling books and blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, there's only really one way to do it. It's write 3 books, and put them out each 1 or 2 months apart, and that's it. Every time. Ad nauseum. That's the only way you're going to make money on Amazon. I was like, that's the secret, and I know. And Dom was like, that's the fucking secret. And we're like, motherfucker. So we left that podcast, and we're both like, we're getting the fuck out of here. We knew the secret the whole goddamn time. We wasted a whole trip to Las Vegas to learn that, but we fucking both knew it before we got there. But it was, you know, whatever. But the cool part was we were sitting there in this hallway at the Circus, and Steve comes walking out, and he's like, hey, guys, what's going on? He saw you in the podcast room, blah, 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 blah. We start talking. He's like, I don't know you from Adam, but I'm going over here. You want to walk with me? And we start talking. He's like, yeah, you guys are authors, blah, blah. We told him we're authors, and we told him what we're doing. He's like, well, look, man, I don't really know you from anything, but if you want to, here's my email, blah, blah, blah. We'll do a book deal. We're like, what? He's like, yeah, you guys seem like nice guys. And like, he used to be like a preacher, like a pastor. And he's like, sometimes, you know, I hear something, I just go with it. And I was like, fuck, okay, shit. All right. Not cussing, because I was like, oh, hey, whatever, you know, because I was raised Catholic, so, you know. But I was like, oh my God. So then we got this book deal, and that was like 3 years ago. And now the book's finally coming out. So long story short, Joe flew from Germany to Vegas to get a book deal with Athon Books that it's 3 years in the making, and the book is finally coming out in April. And I'm super excited. Couldn't be more excited about it. So that's the point of that. All right. So let me link this in the chat. I don't even need to link it. It comes out in April. I'll link it closer to the date. Anyway, with that, there is, what else? Next book. So I finished book 3 of that in August, then moved on to From Chef to Crafter to Conqueror, book 6, which I did in September here, and did in 26 days. All my books are 100,000 words long, and I do that because it's for me to keep track of completion rate. So if a book is 100,000 words, 1,000 words is 1%, 100,000 words is 100%. It's a really good completion rate. So, like, for example, I'm currently on Island Home Defense. It is 26,985, which when I rewrite and edit it, that will be double. That'll be 55,000, 56,000 words. So that means I have another 44,000 to go. But, let's see how this is going. Hey, there we are. This was this morning, so I got 2 pages. That's about 1,200 words. When I rewrite and edit that, that'll become double, 2,500 words. Okay, so this is the new I'm going to put it in here. It'll be chapter 2. Insert page break. Boom. And this will be chapter 2. All right, then I'm going to put that in here. This is the new document, but I'm actually, before I put it in there, I'm going to paste it in this blank document because Grammarly only works about, Grammarly can only do 10 pages, and then it gets jacked up. So what I'll do is take this, let me grab this from this doc, hold that here, Control C, drop, Control V, let's highlight all, select all, Times New Roman, boom, fix the paragraph, 000, single after 0, okay, boom. Okay, so this is 1,000 words. So it's only 1,000 words, not 12. So I only did 1,000 words this morning. But that's all right, because yesterday I did 1525, so like 3,000 plus what I wrote. So it's like 5,000 for the day. Yeah, and then by the end of today, this will turn into 3,000 or 4,000 words. So here. So this will be the main doc until I finish. And I'll put that over here so I don't jack it up. And that current document is, well, you can see it real quick before I switch it back, is currently at 3,000 words. So the main manuscript I'm at, no edits, no nothing, is 3,000 words. So that means I have 97,000 words to get done, edited, rewritten, edited, and into this document for the book to be done. And then I'll have to do one more final edit by the end of the month. That's the goal. That's 17 days. 18 days-ish. It's a lot of days. That's not a lot of days. All right, affectionately. Turned on my blinker. Yeah. Accept. Okay. All right. So you see, this one is completely finished for now, and then I will do this one today. This was this morning. There's a lot of action in this scene, so it's only about 1,000 words, but when I rewrite and edit, I think it'll double to triple in size, because when I'm doing speech to text, I miss a lot of like detail and detail and exposition because I'm thinking off the top of my head. It's a lot like when we do the podcast StoryForge, Dom and I miss a lot of exposition and detail because we're making things up on the fly. And it's hard to think about exactly what color you want something to be, or exact, like what shade of blue. Not just blue, but like, oh, it's a turquoise, you know, and then is the sun hitting it from the side? Like when you're creating things at the spur of the moment, it's hard to come up with those tiny details. But the more we do the podcast, the better we get at it. So I don't know. That's a positive. All right. Where was I? Here. All right. So this is done. I'll do some more recording today. Done with that. Don't need. Oh, I think I need to answer one of these emails. I still haven't linked my books yet. I told that stupid story about. It's not a stupid story. It's a good story about Las Vegas and how I got that book deal. So Warrior Academy Redux is out. It's not doing the numbers I would like. It's only 24 reviews, but I talked about how AWS changed its rating system. But we're at 3.9 stars, and I feel like there's a little hate going on here because it's a re-release, but that's just my personal being a baby, you know? So I'm pretty sure this, as soon as this doubles in reviews, it'll get the 4.5 stars because the book's really good. And I'll be putting the second one out in about a month and a half, 2 months, so it'll do good. But it's all ratings, no reviews, you know? So let's link this in the chat. The book's really good, though. I mean, the book is really good. Well, obviously, I'm going to say that it's my book, right? But yeah, It's so hard to rewrite a book that you wrote a decade ago. I read this book I really liked. It's called Ariel, and it's and it was written 1983, and then they re-released it whatever year they came out with this cover. 3.65. Yeah, first published in 83. They re-released it, and it was pretty darn good, but I read all the hate from people who read it as a kid, and they're like, I should never have read it again, you know? And that just exists. That just exists. But it's a good book. It's a good book. What did I just link? That? Okay. So Warrior Academy linked. From Chef is doing awesome still. 4.5 stars. 4.5 ratings. 4.5 stars with 300 something ratings. We're sitting at 40K, but this will shoot up to 10s and 20s because it's up and down. Next month it's on the Amazon Prime promotions list, so it'll shoot up again. I'm toying with the idea of doing a book club promotion, but I don't know. I don't ever I wonder if my internet's messed up. I don't ever like I have an aversion to paying people to market my books. It's just 100% of me. I refuse. Like, I refuse to spend the money to others for something that, like, you really don't see good results from my experience. Now, obviously, everybody has their own experience, and, you know, to each his own, but I can tell you exactly how much money I spend on, you know what? No, I can't because for tax purposes, but I don't, whatever these other folks are spending, it's not nearly like I laugh whenever I see the shit these people pay. I'm like, you guys are insane. Mm-mm. Crazy. Anyway, all right. So yesterday we did 8 books, 20,000 Kindle Unlimited normalized page reads. This is if you're not familiar with KU, it's Kindle Unlimited. It's where you get like access to all the books that are in the program on Amazon, which is pretty much most of them. And the majority of my revenue comes from that, 75% usually. This month is 65%. Usually it's 75. It's 35, 65. But I think this is due to streaming. I think streaming has upped my ebook count because I think people buy the book from seeing the stream and aren't a part of Kindle Unlimited, which is fine. I appreciate you buying the books no matter what, you know. However you get it, you get it. I don't even care if you steal it because that's the thing. I know people steal whatever it is. You know, you're poor. I get it. If you can afford it, though, I think that's shitty. What does this break down to? So 350 pages is about the average page for my book, and that's like, so this is what 350 times 10 is 3,500. Double that, 27,000. So triple or 7,000. 10 books for every 350 pages, 20 books for every 7,000, 40 books for 14. So it's a little less than 60 books. So 60 people read 60 books worth of Kindle edition normalized pages in 8 orders. So it's like almost 70 books yesterday. Today we're at 2 books, 8,000. That's already 20 people reading for the day. Now a lot of this is through the night to the next day, so I kind of count this towards day before, but whatever. So yeah, I mean that's doing good. Everything's good there. Get rid of that. Link to that. That's good. Books are fine. Everything's in the 30s. Everything's doing well. Oh, these are old. These are good out here. I keep Earth Online there because I like a reminder of how I started. It's like a visual reminder. Like these are poster boards. I actually still have them that I made as collages. I thought it would be funny. I thought people would get a hit out of it, but they do not. So this is how bad these books are at 33,500,000. That's what their ranking is. You know, it's a big difference. I Am Gamers in 200,000s. War Academy is 86. It'll shoot up to the 30s or 40s this weekend. It'll shoot up to the teens, 36,000. You know, but yeah. All right, that's done. We linked that. That's done. Music's here. All right, what next? Here we go. Wait. Boom. No, this is main document. And I don't need this one at the moment. Put that here. Close and go with here. All right, so this is where I'll be rewriting and editing at. I'm kind of deciding if I'm ready to start. What I'll probably end up doing is putting like something on to watch. I'll change the screen. And oh, you know what I never did? Let's go live on, live on Instagram, finally, after 25 minutes. Live on Rumble, live on Instagram, live on Facebook, live on Twitch, live on Kick, and live on, oh yeah, X. All right, that's a lot. Okay. So today's goal is to turn this chapter 2 into about 3,000 words. That means I need to write about 2,000 words. And then I'll add this to the manuscript. We'll be at 6K. That'll be 94,000. And then we'll be on chapter 3. Later today after the stream, I'll do some more speech to text. And I'll probably ramp my daily pace up as it gets closer to the due date because I am like that. I put myself into positions where, you know, I have unneeded stress. But, you know, a lot of people do that shit. So, whatever. This book is going to have cuss words. There's a lot of swearing. It's going to be an 80s, late 80s, early 90s theme. There is going to be homages and allusions and stories about Vietnam, I believe. It'll be a little bit darker than the normal stories I write. I usually write less dark, more fun stories, but this one I might do a little bit more like, you know, just realistic people, bad, and like the good people are going to be good and the bad people are going to be freaking bad. And there's going to be a little bit more moral gray in it. I don't usually, well, let me rephrase that. The bad people are going to be bad and the good people are going to be a little bit, I think, I don't know, but I feel as if the zeitgeist is kind of Punisher at the moment. And I think I might do a little bit more Punisher and a little bit less Superman in this story. There'll be real violent, like more Goblin Slayer and less, more Goblin Slayer and solo leveling and less, what's one I can't think of, less, Beyblade and Pokemon, you know? Hey, this is my other cat. Say hi to Yuki. Maggie, my wife. Hey, Yuki! Named her after character in one of my books from Chef, the girl. I bought these on Amazon. These are hard to see because they are whatever. But they're plastic renditions of a tactical gladius and a tactical hatchet. And my thought process is, actually I have the real ones too. They're amazing. They're super cool. The thought process is the main character in this series will use a hatchet as his offhanded weapon and the tactical gladius as his main one. Since he is not ambidextrous, I was toying with the idea of a offhanded axe because I think it would be easier to use as a blocking weapon and less finesse than a sword. So, like, I feel like if you're using a sword, you need to be more accurate with it. But if you have, like, an axe, like, it's more just swing hard and smash, you know? And you have, like, and a tactical hatchet is pretty badass because they're really lightweight, they're strong, and they're multi-tools, too, because you can use it for, like, chopping wood, digging. You can use it as a weapon. You can use it as, like as I said, a shovel. You can use it as a carving tool. I mean, there's a lot of things you can use it for. All right. If you also don't notice, I like to move around a lot when I'm here. So, what else? Oh, writing tip. I use visualization a lot for my writing. I use I have to look. Sometimes I look at something and I'll take like when my wife and I were living in Europe, we went to Venice. Douchebag, dropping stories. Went to Venice, but I got to go see the Venetian Armory, which is like the oldest ship. It's like one of the oldest manufacturing. Like they invented the ship, the modern kind of shipbuilding. Like everything was under one roof. They could build a warship in like a day. Like it was one of the reasons the Venetian Empire was so popular. People don't really realize it. They think it's all Italy or it was something else, but the Venetian Empire was huge and it lasted to like the 1800s. It was kind of wild before World War One. Yeah, a little bit before that. But yeah, they built ships. They could knock them out like a ship a day, sometimes two ships a day, and the place was like so cool. Venice was really dope. I really enjoyed it, and we went during COVID, which was amazing because there was like nobody there. That was like the best thing, going when nobody was there. Super dope. All right. Let's see what else. Writing tip: visual props. They help me. Chapter 2. Let's take this. Drop that at the end for a visual for me to remember. That is the style it's going to be in. This is the chapter 3. Okay. I just want to, when I recorded this morning here, I remember ending the recording with this last paragraph, but I think, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, basically I have a double paragraph, which I'll have to get rid of, but that's fine. All right, let me close that down. All right. And this is what I'll be working on. All right, how we doing music-wise? A few more minutes of that. 32 minutes. What do I want to watch while I work? Let's see what we got here. Cold War. All right. Cold War's been going on. I was watching this, but it's not that good, actually. All right, Iran crisis, put that on. Hi, China fell. I knew that. This is I probably won't watch because Tom is a little bit behind. Like I said, I get up at 4 in the morning, so I see the news and shit way earlier. I'm way for like ahead, and now it's like when I watch a lot of these YouTube pundits, I'm like, ah, boring. Yeah, AI bubble, of course. That'll be this year. Everybody loses their money. No shit. If anybody's over the age of 40, like Yo Soy, uh, shit happens every little while. You'll never be the toughest. Nah, you don't want to be the toughest. All right, none of this sounds that appealing. Maybe we'll watch the little China update. But first, I'm going to get some more coffee, chill out, use a bathroom, and then we'll get started on the writing. The goal is to get to 3,000 words before the end of the stream, which I think is doable. Also, I started taking Ketone IQ. It tastes like tastes like garbage, but it seems like to work and it fires you up. So I don't know if anybody's tried it. I highly recommend it. I'm going to leave the microphone here. I'll be back in a few minutes and I will get started. Until then, if you're writing, keep writing. I don't know what anybody's goals are, but if your goal is to knock a book out, write. If you have any questions, toss it in the chat. And if you don't have any questions, whatever. I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, let's go. So, I need to remove this screen, add a new screen, and get to work. Oh, okay. What if I do this? Bring that down. I also need to do a hmm, hmm. That could work. And I could put something else on down here. This is for me to like, oh, I should probably move my face. Move your face, son. Oh, I could just do this. Derp. Derp derp. All right, what if I, oops, if I take it like there. How much time is this? 3 minutes? Okay. So in 3 minutes, I'll start this. Move this down. It's a little weird. That's better. All right, what should I watch? Trump just took things way too far. I already watched that. I could do some China has a huge problem. I didn't watch this yet. Let's see. There we go. All right. Eh, pretty basic shit. Nothing special learned there, you know. Nothing really new there. What else we got? Cold War begun, blah blah blah. Curtis Yarvin, blah blah blah. This is what I call a creatine. It's creatine in water. And methylene blue. Boring. All this boring. He's good, but it's all that. WNBA shut down. Nothing. This stuff's very interesting. I just put music back up, I guess, and just work. I usually like to listen to my YouTube, you know, scan through videos and stuff, but I guess there's nothing really interesting to watch. They always predict huge losses and stuff, but the war's going on. I don't know. This is all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Most of it's bullshit. I do like this guy though. This Max Velocity. He's got a good weather channel. He's pretty on point. Okay. All right. Let's go. Nothing really. Not loving it. Well, let's do this. What's going on next? Anything good? Nope. Retry. Michigan County fines 293 citizens. That's goes. Well, X doesn't seem to be working. I guess I'll just listen to music. Restart it. All right. Well, let's put that back up, and then I'll put the. There we go. Here we go. right, yeah. So these are all patches from Vietnam, and it's all like grinning skulls, like here, Quantum, do max up. Okay, so there we go. So yeah, so in the first page we added 200 words already. So by the end of this, I think be at 2,500, 3,000, definitely. Oh. Top of cheek. Hey, little cat, how you doing? Sleepy little girl. Okay, where's my other cat? Oh, he's over there sleeping. Okay. See, we had an hour and 12 minutes. Hour and 12 minutes. That's not bad. 1337. Started at 1,300 words. It's not a lot, obviously. I'm not cruising. I was cruising way before. I was doing like 500 words a half hour, 1,000 words every 45 minutes. It's killing it. Got to get back in the saddle, you know. It's harder to speech to text and rewrite than it is to just write, but it is harder to just write than it is to speech to text, if that makes any sense. Like, writing, you got to think of the ideas, you got to write it out and put it on paper. It takes a little bit of time. It takes longer. Speech to text just comes out. But then when you reread it, you got to reread and rewrite it, so it takes longer in the long run, if that makes any sense. So I don't know if it's better or worse. I know that's what I'm doing right now. I don't know if I'll keep doing it. But my goal is 9 books in 9 months, and this is book 3. So I have to get this book, the next book, so January, February, March. I've been this book and the next 2 books done and out before I can stop. So we'll see. Because then I can't stop, but I can take a little bit of breather because Mercenary as Reincarnated as a Chef comes out April 28th. So that gives me 2 months to write like a book, and I can chill out a little bit. Because next year's goal is not 9 books in 9 months. It's 6 books in 12 months and a book every 2 months. And that is much more doable now than a book a month. A book a month is really hard. And shout out to you, Sean Oswald, because a book a month is really difficult. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. So this is page 2. 1 and 2 are page 1 is done. So we're on page 2 of 3. This will end up being 6 pages, I imagine. autonomic. Okay, 1400. All right. Almost half away. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, yeah. This came today. I got my first Producers Warrior Academy jacket. It's like watching it's like a bad 80s Hong Kong drama, like Hong Kong Kung Fu movie, and I'm freaking in love with it, and it was worth the $75-$80 that I paid for it. I'll never sell one, but it's super great. I love it. I'm going to pimp it. I'm going to wear it on the podcast later. I'm going to put it on. Like, we can see that. That's so dope. It's Warrior Academy. It's so great. I'm such a nerd. Such a fucking nerd. Such a stupid nerd. Anyway, it's actually a solid jacket. I like it. I'm going to wear. My wife, I showed it to my wife this morning. She's like, are you going to wear it? And I said, oh yeah, 100%. I want to be that guy that wears a like Dragon Ball Z shirt, you know, out in public. Back in the 90s, if you did that when I was growing up, you would have been like that dude. It'd be like, if anybody remembers Jinko Jeans, you're that guy. You listen to Korn, you know, which some of my very good friends listen to Korn. Jesse, good dude. James. Ugh. So I think at 1,500 words, I'll probably stop for the day. That's around an hour and a half. That's enough streaming. If I have to do this, if we're doing this podcast, then, you know, I'm going to have to take a break, reset, do the podcast, talk to Dom, yada, 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 get my mind right for like imagining a new story, get it out of my island, Lit RPG. What's the name of this fucking book called? Anybody know the name of this book? My Island, Book 1, Homestead in Another World. Homestead in Another World. Chapter 1, Homestead Depot. Why did I do that British? In a weird British, I don't know, because I find it amusing. All right, 50 words. Let's knock this out. Let's knock it out. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, okay. Huge, huge, huge. Experiencing me. All right. It reached within the air and was at least 30 feet wide, 50 feet in the air. 50. The wall looked ancient and was covered with runes and glyphs that I was unable to decide, I had no idea what language they were in. Or how many, as they seemed to dance and twist in my vision all over the massive edifice. Edifice. In the center of the wall were a pair of 25-foot tall double doors. Which were half as wide as the wall itself. One side, the door on the left side, was dark as night and looked that seemed to suck in the light around it. The other door on the right was a pristine white, so pure and clear that it looked as if it was the physical representation of the absence of color itself. The light that shined from it $1,508. All right. 1:30, hour and a half. That's a good stream. 10 o'clock. I got a podcast today. Got a stream tomorrow. 1,500. When I'm done with this, I will put it into the main documente. I should be done with it today. That's 3,000 words. That's not set. I want to be at 10,000 words a day. I need to be at 10,000 words a day by Friday. I mean, I got to be doing 10,000 words a day by Friday if I'm going to finish by the end of the month. That's just a fact. And yeah. So let's see here. Let me see. Where is this document? I should probably check on Opus too. All right. So this is 3,024, 1508, 45. Yeah. At the end of the day, I'll be at 6,000. And then tomorrow will be at 10 and so on. All right. So chapter page 2. Yeah. Yep. Okay. This will turn into 500 more words. So it might be 1,000. So I might have to add another 1,000. All right. Let me put this down. This is here. What else? Those are streaming. Let's check on Opus. So this is what I use for clipping. I take whatever I StreamYard. So here's cool. So with StreamYard, you stream, and then when I'm done streaming, it downloads automatically, imports to Opus, and then I have the settings to clip. I have like some settings here that auto clips, and then those clips I post. You know. All right. So what is in here? What can I get rid of? Pretty sure I'm up to the 19th with posting. Yeah. Yep. 19th into the 20th. So I think over the next couple days, I'll start posting again when it gets closer. I think I'm going to try to put stuff that's trending. So I think that'll mean more current streams and getting rid of a lot of the older streams. Because I think they're funny. I'm not getting rid of them, but like, clipping the newer streams. I think that might be more relevant. All right. What else I wanted to do? Oh, yeah, this is when I was writing Warrior Academy first time, like a decade ago. And you can go into Fandom and look at all the moves from the different anime characters. And these are a lot of moves I based the characters on. Like the main character, Hero, is basically uses the hit to Mitsurugi Ryu, which is the back, the style that Kenshin from the anime used that was like the reverse sword so he didn't kill people. I thought that was a pretty fun thing. All right, what else did I need to look at? Oh, let's go to X. All right, let's try this again. I got to send a cover to my book. Yeah, the fraud's wild. All right, let's see. Great image. Let's see. Can I do a speech? No, we're not in this, huh? Okay. Let's see. Please make me a book cover in dimensions for a Amazon Kindle book. Make the cover in the style of. It's better if I do it here and then copy paste it in X because you can't enter. It's better to do it in Word and then paste it in there. It's another good one. All right, we'll see how this goes. All right. Okay. Okay. This one kind of works. Okay, I think I have an idea. Let's see if this works. This one's more. Let's see. All right. After this, I'm calling it. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, well, this is kind of what I want. So what I'll do is I'll download these both. I'll send them to my cover artist and see what he says. All right, folks. I am Audi 5000. Everybody have a great day. And I'll be back on later. Let me go ahead and get out of here. Peace, 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 peace. Om, 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 om. God, 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 God. La, 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 la. Deuces. Ending the stream on Rumble. Ending live on Insta. And ending StreamYard.